We've all been there, right? A relationship ends and you're just left spinning, trying to figure out what on earth went wrong. And there are two words that get thrown around all the time: toxic and red flags. But what if? What if we've been looking at them completely backwards? In this explainer, we're going to totally reframe how you think about these crucial warning signs.
Okay, so let's start with this statement. It's pretty direct, right? Maybe even a little jarring. But it's the foundation for everything we're about to talk about, because it shifts the focus in such a powerful way. Instead of pointing a finger out there and labeling someone else, it asks us to look inward. Let's really unpack what that means.
So, first things first, let's tackle this myth of the toxic person. It's a label we hear everywhere, and I get it. It can feel super validating when you're hurt, but it might actually be holding us back from seeing the real picture. And this is just so understandable. Of course we do this. When we're in pain, we want a simple reason. We want a clear villain for our story. And calling someone toxic, well, it does just that. It just neatly packages up all the hurt and confusion into one easy-to-blame label. But the problem is, it might be keeping us from seeing our own role and, honestly, our own power in the whole situation. So if we agree to just set the toxic label aside for a minute, what are we left with? Well, it leads us to something way more powerful and way more personal: your very own internal alarm system, your intuition. Look at this comparison. It's a total shift in power, right? When we focus on their toxicity, we're basically a passenger in our own life. Things are just happening to us. We're a victim. But the moment we shift our focus to our own intuition, to those little signals we picked up on, bam, suddenly we are in the driver's seat. The story stops being about what they did and starts being about our own awareness. And that, my friends, is so, so empowering. So here's the absolute key. We have to redefine red flags. They are not some universal checklist of bad personality traits. No. A red flag is simply a personalized message from your gut to you. It's your intuition saying, hey, something about this, it's not quite right for you. It's a signal for you, about you. Okay, so if these flags are personalized signals from our gut, then the next question is obvious. How do we actually learn to read them? How do we decode these messages our intuition is sending us? So just take a second. Think about it. The last time you got that off feeling about someone or something, what did it actually feel like? Not what you thought, but what did you feel? You see, our intuition, it rarely screams at us like a siren. It's a whisper. It's that subtle tight knot in your stomach. It's that feeling of being totally drained after you spend time with them. It's you catching yourself making excuses for their behavior over and over again. Or that nagging feeling that what they say and what they do are two different things. And maybe the biggest one of all, feeling like you can't really be yourself around them, like you have to shrink a little bit, those are the real red flags. Which brings us to the million-dollar question, doesn't it? If we all have this amazing built-in alarm system, why are we so good at hitting the snooze button? Why do we ignore these whispers all the time? Does this little internal monologue sound familiar? It's like a 4-step process of talking ourselves out of what we know. First, you notice it. That little ping, that knot in your stomach. Then, almost instantly, your logical brain jumps in and starts questioning. Wait, am I being too sensitive? Am I just overreacting? Then you start to rationalize. You actually invent excuses for them. And finally, you just ignore it. You push that feeling down and you just keep going. And hey, let's be really clear here. This doesn't make you dumb or naive. It just makes you human. We are hardwired to want to see the best in people, to give them the benefit of the doubt. We fall in love with someone's potential. And honestly, sometimes we're just plain scared that our gut is wrong and that if we act on it, we'll look foolish. So, after all of this, what's the path forward? Where do we go from here? Well, the goal isn't to get bitter or to endlessly pick apart the past. It's about learning how to finally truly trust our own inner voice from this day forward. This is probably the most important takeaway of all. Looking back and seeing the red flags you missed, it's not an excuse to beat yourself up. It's not about, I'm so stupid, I should have known. No, it's about saying, wow, my intuition did know. It was trying to tell me something. Okay, next time I'm going to listen. It's all about building trust in your own perception. So, the final reframe is this simple. It's time to turn the searchlight around. Instead of constantly scanning the horizon for toxic people to avoid, just turn that light inward and listen. Pay attention to those whispers, to those physical feelings, to those little moments of doubt, because that is your most reliable guide in the world. That is your truth.
And that's really the only question I want to leave you with. Because it's not a matter of if your intuition will whisper again. It absolutely will. In your relationships, at your job, in big and small decisions every single day. The only real question is, will you have the courage to listen? Thanks for watching.